Alright, what's up guys? Once again, we are back for the final part of the analog horror Iceberg. And as always, if you haven't seen the first two parts in this series, make sure to go check those out first. But today, we're diving into the real obscure stuff, as we take a look at the 5th and 6th tiers of the analog horror Iceberg. But like I did with the unused and cut video game content Iceberg, I plan on doing a supercut where I include bonus entries, as I know this Iceberg doesn't cover every series out there. So please, if there are any specific series you want me to cover in that video, leave a comment letting me know. Anyways, enough of the preamble, let's jump back into the Iceberg. Employee Tapes Archive. As described in the about description of this channel, this less known series focuses on, quote, various tapes given to employees of local businesses in Flagstaff throughout the late 70s and early 80s. As of now, there are only 5 episodes, most of which are pretty short. In the first one, we see a video about a recalled water product and how to correctly dispose of it. Nothing too out of the ordinary here, except for some of these kind of strange symptoms. Next, we have an instructional tape on how to deal with a disease called neuronosis, which is contracted by drinking contaminated water, which I guess relates to that first video on the recalled product. It seems kind of normal until you get to stage 3, where essentially you're and the tape says to take the patient to a supply closet and inject them with cyanide. And stage 4, well, shoot them with a shotgun, of course. And we later find out that this disease is actually turning people into so-called root men after drinking the contaminated water, which gives them plant DNA. Kind of strange, but nonetheless a pretty interesting concept for analog horror. Solar tapes. Solar Tapes, as the name suggests, is a series focusing on space exploration through the lens of analog horror. This of course is done through VHS tapes. The first one we see looks at the Voyager space probes, which are real things by the way, sent to space to take pictures, but we see in the first episode something isn't right, as it shows that Voyager 1's camera is shut off, but continues to send pictures. In the second episode we get an unsettling PSA about taking care of the environment, themed around sending garbage into space. And in episode 3, we see the origin of Earth and its history, as well as learn about a strange dark secret hidden within. And there are 10 episodes total for the series, all which have some sort of message or theme based around space and climate change issues, which is quite refreshing for this type of storytelling. Somnium Dream Viewer. This is a 9-episode analog horror series, which is best represented in its overview episode. Take a look. So yeah, this product created by Somnium Microtechnologies allows the user to record their dream data through images, which, as you can probably guess, can lead to some pretty weird and creepy stuff, especially when it's done through analog horror style videotapes. And there's more going on here with the story. It even has a very interesting interpretation of the FBI in this universe, known as the FBMI, or Federal Bureau of Metaphysical Intelligence, who are seemingly investigating this dream device, with them even trying to acquire this technology for themselves from the founder. And I'm pretty sure this series is still ongoing, so check it out. It's really interesting. Station 33 TV. Yet another pretty obscure analog horror series. This time we have Station 33 TV. At first we see that the channel is themed around a 1930s era aesthetic, before shifting to a completely different one in the next episode, even stating that it was established only in 1975, which is also the year of a mysterious and cryptic tragic event as shown in the video Station 33 1975. Then we get the audio from 2 broadcast interruptions and other strange things in an Unsolved Cases video. These are really well made, especially for a channel of this size, and it definitely deserves more attention. And luckily, after being inactive for a while, it seems the creator is back. So if you're interested, look forward to hopefully more content on this project. The Hartwin Archives. So yeah, I referenced this earlier as the work of the Mister on YouTube, who has since clarified that the Rootside Conspiracy was actually one of his cancelled projects before he rebooted the Hartwin Archives, which was another cancelled series. That being the original, because we already of course discussed the remake. Okay, that might have been confusing, but yeah, hopefully that made some sense. For the original Hartwin Archives, like I said earlier, there are re-uploads, but the story is a bit different, although it still prominently focuses on the character Eugene Hartwin throughout history. The Minerva Alliance. Now, this one has quite a lot of videos, mostly relating to recovered footage and audio recordings, and the series premise is described in the About section of the channel. Quote, "The Minerva Alliance is a non-profit activist organization committed to spreading awareness of anomalous activity in our world and in your communities. Please consider following this channel, as it might have vital information that can help you take measures to defend yourself and your family and friends from anomalous threats that may occur in your area. Thank you in advance for your consideration, and stay safe." So yeah, the videos you see on this channel are said to contain evidence of this anomalous activity, and are distributed by the Minerva Alliance. One of these recordings is a, quote, "unusual ad council PSA dated 6/3/1998. And it describes a very strange parasitic organism, which is described in detail as well in the description, which also gives even more background info as to how the tape was found and so on. There's quite a lot here, and definitely a lot of work went into all the lore found throughout these videos. TV67 WOPX TV. So we've got another TV channel analog horror series. This time it focuses on Channel 67, which has served southern Tarrant County and Hundiak County for 32 years. In the first episode, Severe Weather, we see a classic EAS interruption on the broadcast, followed by some disturbing, distorted audio and disconcerting messages, telling you to ignore the laughter of children. In the next video, we get another strange and creepy broadcast interruption, also seemingly related to this, quote, storm, and we get 2 more well-made videos on this phenomenon, which is explained a lot more in depth in the Animal Report, which is actually the last official video of this series. as sadly the creator released a video titled "I'm Sorry," where they basically stated that they lost interest in the project and were done making videos for it. However, on April 18th, 2022, a short clip was uploaded that has given fans hope that the series will return, although no new uploads have come out since then. Uncovered analog. As the name suggests, this series focuses on uncovered pieces of analog media, which, as you might have guessed by now, all contain some strange or unnerving content, most of which showcase an ominous figure. And there are a lot of these, over 30 videos in this playlist. But yeah, not too much else to say here, other than the fact that they are pretty well made, even if the creator has kind of dismissed this series. Assessment examination. Finally, we've got another game, this one being very similar to Maple County. Really, I'm not sure why this is all the way down here. I mean, Markiplier played this game, so it's gotten a decent amount of attention. Essentially, this game is another test for someone applying for a position at the Authenticity Assessment Department. It starts out normal enough, asking how you heard about this position, if you have any professional experience, but then it gets a little weird, asking if you fear death, God, or losing your loved ones. Next, you have to identify threats from a series of images, and there's quite a few more choices, as well as different endings. So if you liked Maple County, give this one a shot. Pizza Parlor Lost Tapes, Party Fun. And we've got another game here, and this one is a little less known. It mainly consists of a series of arcade-style minigames, similar to something you'd find in the FNAF games. Basically, you walk around the pizzeria and you can play these minigames. One where you catch pizzas, and if you mess up 5 times you lose. Another which is just red light, green light. And another one which is like an old Atari game where you just have to collect like 5 pieces of corn. And there's even a computer terminal which you can access that has tapes that explain the story, as this was a series and ARG that was adapted into this game, which is stated upon booting it up. Definitely inspired by FNAF and the Walden Files, but yeah, this game is pretty interesting. I'm surprised no one's really talked about it yet, at least that I've seen. Little Red's Transfer. Created by Aquanta Films, this analog horror series focuses on, well, let me just read the description of the first video. Quote, "You will never understand how hard it is to come up with a description for a discovery that's so vague in its existence, so out of place yet so fitting, and radiates fiction belief, but here it is, in physical form resting within a computer disk case. I would love to try to explain this at this moment, but no lie has been told. I don't know. I come to you all for an answer, some type of closure for what all this could mean. This unfinished transfer of Little Red's animatronic employee tape was hidden within my father's CD cabinet. It feels off every time I stare at it, like it's something that shouldn't be in my possession. I apologize if this curse follows through to you all as well. That is, if anyone sees this. Please contact me if possible and help me decode this." Yeah, it's a little dramatic, but it gives the gist of the story. And throughout these tapes, we see this creepy animatronic called the Little Red, and the disturbing backstory behind it. As well as, some of this audio. I'm sorry, all jokes aside, this series is pretty underrated, and a lot of effort was definitely put into this quite long series. Perusia Public Library. Now this is a pretty interesting and obscure one. Perusia Public Library. Hope I'm even pronouncing that right. Anyway, it's interesting because most of these videos are in the form of PowerPoint-like presentations that also happen to contain some analog horror elements, such as VHS videos. And they are actually pretty unnerving, mostly because of how cryptic the story is, as well as that classic found footage atmosphere, and that creepy religious imagery. I'm not too sure really what's going on with this one, but there's something going on in regards to these entities known as scouts or scout angels. Phobos. This is a lesser known yet pretty expansive series featuring even its own soundtrack. And I guess the best way to explain it would be that the series revolves around fears as the main focus. And there are quite a few analog horror-like videos in this series, such as with the first introduction video, but it kind of becomes like an ARG, as it asks for audience involvement in answering a survey about their fears. Although the series even further develops and changes, until we get the finale in quotes, because there are still videos being posted on the channel. And the finale is basically just a 20-minute live-action short film. The Campbell Reels. This is another obscure series created by Conca-Cola on YouTube. Throughout the videos, we learn about a company called Campbell Fair Fun, which opened sometime in 1965 or 1966. We see various advertisements of the company, which contain some, well, strange images. And we also meet the cast of mascots for this brand. And clearly, yeah, something is not right here. Now, I think my brain is melting from all this analog horror, because, yeah, some of this is creepy. Like this part where a song is actually played backwards. I didn't really expect the reversed audio. But then there was this. And I don't know, this just killed me. Still, there was a lot of effort put in here, and there are parts that are actually pretty creepy. Warding 12 television. Alright, so we've got yet another TV channel based one, but this one has only like one video, at least one that's called Warding 12 TV. There's another short 45-second video that briefly shows a monster that could be related to the original story. But what is this about? Well, this one video has everything. An emergency alert, some strange and cryptic lore, home video footage, some standard TV weather channel stuff, a driving segment. I mean, you all know the drill by now. British home entertainment. Okay, so on the lighter side of things, we have another parody channel. This time, one parodying the popular series Gemini Home Entertainment. And there's even a Mandela catalog parody in here as well. The best part is that they're pretty well made. I wouldn't be surprised if people actually came across this and thought it was a real series. But yeah, not too much else to say here. Untitled 2008. And for the last one on our list, we have Untitled 2008. Another video game, and a pretty obscure one at that. Anyways, for the actual game, well, it's basically a FNAF game. And bruh, I'm so bad at this game. And let me tell you, it doesn't seem hard, and it's probably not, but for some reason I just suck. But basically, I think the way it works is you have to check the window for this dude who kills you if you don't put on a mask in time to hide. Which, surprisingly, I mean, if he does kill you, it's not a jump scare, he just like mumbles at you in reversed audio. Then this dude, I think you just have to flick to the window and he goes away. But this guy in the closet, I don't know what to do. I think you just have to put on the mask, but for some reason my controls just don't work. I can't seem to like put on the mask in time, he just insta-kills me. I'm probably just doing it wrong, but yeah. And if you're wondering how this is analog horror, Yeah, I was too. It says on the page where you download the game, quote, "You find a tape labeled Untitled with a scratched up sticker. You shouldn't have played that tape." And that does it for the final part of the Iceberg. Definitely some more obscure series here that hopefully I was able to shed some light on. But like I said in the intro, I do plan on doing a supercut version where I include quite a few bonus entries, so if there's anything you'd like to see or suggest that I look into, make sure to leave a comment. Anyways, that'll do it for this video. Stay tuned for a very different kind of video coming soon, and I will see you all with the next one. Peace.